seems that everything has been suggested to clean up catastrophic oil spills. Clay, hay, cellulose, and even human hair. This video demonstrates one solution that can really make a difference. It is non-hazardous, totally inert, it absorbs oil better than any other substance, and is immediately available in large quantities. The solution to oil spills and the subject of this video is MPU, micronized polyurethane powder. This water has the same salinity as the ocean. The oil is raw crude and is just like the oil that spilled into the Gulf during the BP oil spill. MPU traps the oil molecules like a magnet and stops the oil from emulsifying. All of the oil is now absorbed. The rocking motion in this tank simulates wave action. In this demonstration, it took about 2 minutes and less than 4 pounds of the MPU powder to absorb 2 gallons of the crude oil. MPU forms a cake that floats indefinitely until it is collected and removed by skimmers. Dispersants just break up the surface oil, so it is no longer visible, but it's still there, broken into millions of tiny droplets, and now impossible to collect. Unlike dispersants, MPU actually removes the crude oil from the water, and it's an EPA certified oil sorbent product. MPU is equally safe and effective after the oil has emulsified, washed to shore, and spread onto beaches and marshlands. It not only can be used effectively to remove oil from beaches, it is also being used to safely remove oil from waterfowl without using harsh chemicals or detergents.
If we can find an alternative which is less toxic and is effective and is available, because many of these are not available in the quantities required, but if it's available, we will switch to that product.
2 million pounds of the MPU product could have been used to remove 25,000 barrels of oil that spilled into the Gulf. Moving forward to eradicate major oil spills around the globe, we can provide up to 1 million pounds of product every 2 weeks. MPU allows oil to be removed from the water, is EPA certified, and is proven much more effective than other solutions. Be poured into a hole in the Las Vegas desert. The used oil in this demonstration is a mixture of oil products made to mimic the most catastrophic of oil spills and the most challenging cleanup situations. In this test scenario, 6 pounds of MPU was applied to cover the top surface of the oil mixture. MPU will stay on the surface and continue to capture the oil until the product itself is fully absorbed. Agitation is required to mix the product into the oil and to start the absorption process. Even the driest of sand contains some water. One unique attribute of MPU is that it will not absorb any water. Only oil or oil-like substances, including diesel, gasoline, hydraulic oil, and antifreeze. After agitation, the oil-absorbed MPU is formed into a dough-like texture that is easy to transport off-site for sale in secondary markets or for disposal. Once the MPU is in its dough-like form, it can then be used as a secondary fuel source. MPU is currently being used in Europe at cement plants as a clean alternative fuel source. MPU is the only polymer sorbent which is so easily incinerated. The product is also being used with great success as a fuel source in Russia. Oil recovery can also occur from the saturated MPU cake. A hydraulic press can be used to press out the oil from the dough-like MPU. With this methodology, up to 85% of the oil can be recovered to be refined for reuse. After being pressed, the resulting MPU powder is nearly as sorbent as in its original state and can be reused several times. Reusing the product allows it to be leveraged for the best use economically. Reusing the material lowers the cost considerably.